So I met up with one of my primary school classmates yesterday. We had lunch. We had not met for like a good 20 over years. And he was telling me he saw me at my video, right, at YouTube. Isn't it amazing? The algorithm somehow pushed my video to his TV. Then he heard something familiar, my voice, right? And he told me, he looked at my video, right, and saw, hey, that's Eddie. You know how he recognized me from my crooked tooth, you see? My crooked tooth said, yes, this must be Eddie. So when we met, I told him, wow, hey, of all things you don't remember, you remember my crooked teeth. Aiyo. Think about, you know how I got this? I didn't get it from birth actually. I was like playing Superman. You know, Boon Lay last time got this big splash. Very long time ago. So at this big splash, Boon Lay, very tall, so you can like slide down. Yeah, very fast, you can slide down. So I remember there's 2 levels, one for the kids and one for the adult. I very chiong, I go all the way up. And I do the Superman thing, you know. So I like lie down and then just, oh, mosquito, sorry. And then just swoop down. So what happened, I go too fast and it hit my teeth, right? Then it didn't fall off, but it sort of chipped and then crooked. That's how I got my crooked teeth. So after the big splash accident, right, it took me about 3-4 days to heal. I remember it's quite bad because I got laceration. You know, my teeth need to, you know, it's still bleeding, right? So I have this, not bandage, but I think something in my mouth. So I went back to school. Everybody was laughing at me, yeah, and not a good feeling So embarrassing, right? Then even after it healed, it didn't grow back. So when I look at the mirror, especially when you're a teenager, as you grow because it get worse and worse, right? So I feel like a bit no confidence, especially in front of people. I don't dare to really laugh or smile because I scared people will notice my crooked teeth. Yeah. So the thing about weakness, I'm not sure you consider this as weakness. I do think this is a kind of weakness because it does have a negative impact when as I grow. Yeah, it does affect my confidence. Yeah. So the thing about weakness is the more you hide, right, the more you try to cover it, the more it shows up, the more jialat it is. That's what I understand. So until to a point, I don't care because you know why? My nature is when I laugh, I just laugh. I just open my mouth. I cannot like suddenly like, oh no, I'm not a girl. I you know, girl that do that, they laugh. Or when you eat, I just open my mouth. You know, so it tends to show up. Then what do I do, right? Then if you don't like my teeth, then bo pian lor. That's the way I am. So I grew up. I learned to accept. I learned to acknowledge, yes, this is maybe my weakness, but I don't see it as something that pull me down, to pull my confidence down. I use it as maybe my unique point, USP, unique selling point if you are in the sales, right? Like something that is memorable. Like, you know, my best friend from primary school can still remember until now. Then it's not a weakness, right? It's something like a USP, a unique selling point that people can remember me. Yeah. Also, I think the greater things I want to talk about weakness more than this superficial side of it, right, is the society perspective of men in general, right? What I mean is, like, for example, if you talk about a father, right, a father is supposed to be strong, what the society perceives, supposed to have a big shoulder to carry everything, supposed to have the can tahan everything, whatever it comes. He must be able to absorb the shock and then carry the whole family. So that's the general conception about being a father in today's society. You're supposed to be strong, right? So if you are weak, you don't earn enough to provide, you will kind of retrench, you know, suddenly there's something happen that you can't work, like an accident or something, then you're seen as weak, right? Society cannot accept, right? And I feel that the father will be in a lot of stress, like what I felt that time when my company fell, right? So you have this kind of weakness in man that when we show, it becomes vulnerable, so we tend to hide it, right? I know too well because I did that, I hide it, I try to mask it, you know. Because why do you want to show it, right? Who do you want to show to? And what does it help, right? You still need to provide the dough. You still need to go and find work. So you just tahan lah, right? You just eat it, suck it all up, and just do your thing, right? But is it that easy? Sometimes I feel the burden is so great, and the thing that we keep to ourselves is so great that one day it will explode. It will explode out, and we cannot take it anymore. Right? It is then something bad happened, right? The outburst, the emotional outburst. So I believe men in general, me included, right? Being seen as weak is a really very bad thing. Is something very vulnerable that we don't want to show it. Something within you, inside of you. For example, the feeling of inadequacy, right? Inferior complexity of or for example, no confidence, or low confidence. So this kind of feelings or all this inward feeling of oneself, right? I believe the man tends not to show. Why? Because you put yourself in a vulnerable position. Why would a man want to do that, right? If let's say you have a certain status or title in a job, doing that, it may compromise your position, or your compromise your next promotion, right? And you will not want to show your vulnerability to your family members. Why? Then your wife will start to nag, say why you like that, why you weak. I'm not saying that the wife is bad, because you're putting unnecessary stress and uncertainty into the picture already. So because as a man, we are, or as a father, right, you are expected to bring stability in the family. You have a shoulder, right? You have broad shoulder to tahan everything, right? To stabilize everything. And how can you show your vulnerability? So if you toh, that means you fall. The whole family unit fall already, right? So there's this kind of expectation of a man, this kind of harsh reality. I think I wouldn't say that it's unfair to be put on a man. I'm just saying that it is actually a very stressful thing, right? Something that the stress you put on somebody that you had to bottle up and close it and not look at it, you have to look the other way. So this is very unhealthy emotionally, for your psyche. Is not good at all. It happened to me. I know too well, right? As I said earlier, the more you hide it, the more you mask it, the more you show up. For me, how you show up is an explosion of emotion. I just want to give up everything, right? So what's the point, right? So I come to a point that everything is just pointless already. It doesn't have to. I mean, for me, I'm considered quite lucky, right? But I believe for somebody out there, when eventually the emotion, the stress, they can't take it anymore, it can lead to more serious consequences, right? I don't want to say the word, but you all should know lah. So I'm lucky in that sense, right? But I feel that these bottled up feelings of inadequacies, be it low confidence, any weakness inside because it's not being looked after. Because at the end, it's still yourself, right? It's inside you. It's not being looked after. It's being ignored. It's actually very bad. It's a very bad thing. So I come to realize, right? During my healing process, during my way to recovery, I find out that there are ways to make this thing easier, to write it out easier. For me, it's talking. As you all know now, documenting my story, right, is actually a way of learning. People may think that, this Eddie, he knows all these things, he's very good, he's a good teacher. No, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not here to teach you. I'm actually here to teach myself also. Because by teaching, by telling, by saying my emotions, I'm actually documenting and understanding, analyzing what am I going through, what can I do better, right? It's kind of like a feedback recovery thing. I don't know what is that called, right? It does make me more self-aware of my problem and try to work a way around it, or try to work my way through it. So talking about being aware of your weakness, right, is the first step. The second thing, and the most important thing, I believe, after you are aware, is to ask for help. I believe asking for help is one of the bravest thing you can do. By just saying help. During my arguments with my partner at that time, we come to a point that I say I cannot do it anymore. I need help. I don't know what to do because my mind is like numb already, numb and pointless and like not thinking, not in my clear mind. So I asked for help, and we did seek help, and it did help. Right? So by asking for help, a lot of things, it is actually a lot of things behind that word. Right? Is firstly, you are recognizing that you are in trouble. Secondly, you are looking for a lifeline, right? Somebody to just pull you up. You can do it. Actually, everybody can stand up. You just need an extra nudge only, extra push, a little bit of guidance. And then when it's over, then you look back and say, hey, right, actually, is I can pass it through and I just need a little bit of light, at the end of the tunnel. So asking for help, is very important. It's sad, like in Singapore, I think we are all chasing our dreams. When you're young, we are fighting for careers, starting to build a family. Cost of living is high, everything is difficult. But we push through, but at what cost? Right? At the cost of our health? No, I believe there are a lot of gym already around, a lot of parks we can walk. How about our mental health? We tend to ignore. We tend to like just put it aside, bottle it up. But at the end, what happened? Then you got a lot of arguments with families, a lot of bottled up feelings. I feel there's not enough support group among men, right, in Singapore. And I wish this episode, can bring more awareness to this issue, right? Maybe there are support group around. I'm sure they are, right? But just that it's not very publicly, accessible, maybe. And I hope your guys can support each other in this forum. In this community space that I'm trying to build. It's a good place to share your experience, to share your story, right? Coming to my very last point. Sorry, I've been talking for very long in this video. I got a few viewers actually ask me, can you change your channel name Lazy Cabby? Because it doesn't sound nice. Not say nice, it doesn't sound like very forward looking. I agree. I also appreciate of the feedback. Thank you very much, viewers, for your suggestion. All your feedback I value, right? But I just want to say I'm embracing my feature, my characteristic as a lazy person, because I was lazy. I was indeed lazy, right? And I embrace it because of that thing. I don't let it define me, right? It is not the actual laziness you are looking at, right? That thing that define me, push me to become a driving force, to become something else, like what I'm doing now. Maybe I'm still lazy but in a different sense. So I'm sorry, Lazy Cabby, this name will stay. So tell me, viewers, let me know, what do you think? What do you think are the biggest weakness that man faces and unwilling to show, not really readily wanted to share with their loved ones or with their friends or whatever. And if you want to share a journey, I would love to hear from you. Alright, please, brother and sister, I'm gonna wrap up a video. Please take care. 加油. Better days are ahead, I can assure you. The world is a beautiful place. We just have to create our own beautiful world. 加油. Bye bye. Ciao.